Today on Uncle Ron's Lab, we'll consider the curious case of 1981-82 Wayne Gretzky and Strat hockey. As Retro Sports Network does this special, brought to you by HockeyTournaments.com, the best place on the web for a hockey tournament in your area. Any place in North America, if you're looking to get the gang together to go beat up some competition, go to HockeyTournaments.com today. And if you are going to organize a tournament sometime in 2020, go to HockeyTournaments.com to find the right teams for your tournament. We have the package for you. That's HockeyTournaments.com. So, as you know, I am doing offline mostly a replay of the 1981-82 NHL season. Why? Because I'm a sucker for having a good time at offense. I like scoring. And I turned 10 that year, and I've fallen in love over the recent years with the New York Islanders. And that's also the year that Wayne Gretzky scored 200 points in an NHL season, which has only happened twice. The other one was Wayne Gretzky in 85-86. And so I'm now 25 games in to the Edmonton Oilers portion of the replay, and guess what? Someone isn't getting to 200 points. Who is that? Well, let's take a look. You would think in a year that Wayne Gretzky scored 50 goals in 39 games, that after 25 games that Wayne Gretzky would be running away with the scoring titles. But as you can see, yes, he's not only not leading the league in goals, he's not even in the top 10 in assists. And if you look at the point total, Wayne Gretzky is 5th in the NHL in scoring. Yes, 5th. 8 points behind Peter Stastny of Quebec. Are you kidding me? Now, Brian Trottier, the Islanders, just played a 7-point game in one of the favorite games I've ever played, a 10-4, pasting in the St. Louis Blues. But, yep, Gretzky is behind Denny Maruka of Washington and Mike Bossy, who's having a hell of a time, and just barely ahead of Hartford's Pierre LaRouche and Chouinard of Calgary. How in Sam Hill is Wayne Gretzky struggling to the point where he is? You look at his goal totals, he's 4 behind Pierre LaRouche, 1 behind Lanny McDonald and Peter Stastny. Gretzky scored 92 goals that year. In 25 games, he has 20 goals. He'll break 50, but he's not going to do it probably even in 50 games, let alone 39. And if you're expecting him to break Esposito's record of 70, 2 or 3 or 7 or whatever it was, he's going to have a hard time doing that. And we'll explain why in a moment. First, let's take a look at Gretzky's card. And in an era of high offense, should be pretty good. He's got a straight goalie rating on an outside on a 6, which means he's got a 3 in 18 chance just to get a goalie rating. And a lot of these goalies in 1981-82 are, well, to be charitable, not good. Plus, if he rolls a 2, which is a 1 in 18 chance, he has a 50-50 chance of just getting an outside straight goal. It doesn't matter if it's Richard Brodeur or me in the net, it's a goal. Inside, which is his bread and butter, he has a goal chance on a 4, a 10, and a 7 on a goalie rating. So let's add up the chances. There's 2 shots at a 4, there's 2 shots at a 10, and 3 shots at a 7. So 2, 4, 7, and 18 chance he's going to be able to roll the goalie rating shot. Plus, he's got a 3. So he's got a 1 to 13 chance on a 3. So on a 1 in 18 chance, he can score. Well, let's see how bad my math is. 65% chance of a goal on any card. That's phenomenal. Not sure it's 92 goal phenomenal, but a goalie rating on a 7 is pretty gosh darn dilly phenomenal. Okay? Let's take a look at his rebound column. Okay. Yes, this is Phoebe Cates porn for sure. Goalie ratings on a 4, a 6, a 7, a 10, and 11. Let's do the math. So on any rebound, he's got a 6, 8, 10, 11 and 18 chance of a goalie rating. And with that 5, he's got 2 more chances to score, which is going to be 70% on that. So he really has a 13 and 18 chance of scoring, or at least having a chance to score. And if you look at a goalie rating as really a 50-50 proposition, as you hear an ambulance behind me, yeah, the scoring chances are going to be fantastic. So why isn't he doing better? He should score on 1 out of every 4 times he shoots the puck. And how we doing? Well, we did have 1 hat trick against Pittsburgh. We had a 2-goal game against the Kings, Winnipeg, Quebec, Hartford, and St. Louis. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me count this again because I'm bad at math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goals where he had 6 games where he had more than 1 goal. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 where he had 1 goal. So in 25 games, 13 he's had at least 1 goal. Well, he should be doing better than that because there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games where he hasn't scored at all. Which, when you score 92 in a year, 12 might have been what he did the entire season. He's done that in the first 25 games and change. Now, assist-wise, that's kind of a problem with the engine. He has an 11 assist rating, by far the highest in the game. But there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of those 25 games where he didn't get any assists at all. In fact, he's not even averaging an assist a game. He is 22. So he is averaging his 42 points in 25 games, 1.68 points per game. What did he do in the real season? He averaged 2.65 points a game. Not like he hasn't had his shots. He's taken 116. His shooting percentage is down. It's only 17.24. So let's take a look at the comparison again. He's had 46 side shots and 34 rebound breakaway shots. He's playing 20 minutes a game. That's a lot. I don't play him on the 4th line, which is what the computer wants him to do. But on the power play, he is paired with 1 50-goal Mark Messier and 1 38-goal Glenn Anderson. But on the front line, and I think this is probably where he's going to get into trouble, he's paired with Dave Lumley and someone that I'm going to have to go back and check in a minute. So shot-wise, he's doing fine. He's also taking a bunch of penalties. He already has 10 penalty minutes of the 26 he had in real life. So you really can't do anything about the assist. On any check, he's going to get it at an 11. I don't think it goes higher than 9. And so remember, in Strat, when you're reading the assist, it's that number or higher for an assist. And so Gretzky, if his line scores and it doesn't come from a defenseman to start, chances are he's going to get the goal or going to get the assist. But he should be averaging more, like 1.5 assists a game, and he's averaging less than 1. There is no way that he is going to get to 212 points in 80 games. Why? Because he would now need to. He's so far off the pace, he would now need to average 3.68 points a game. A game to reach 212 points. That, my friends, is stunning. His shot percentage is 7% too low. And his assists are way, way down. He may not even lead the league in assists. Consider that for a moment. Dave Hunter is the player I was trying to think of. Okay, Edmonton needs to have 80 points in their last 55 games, which would be tough to do. Not impossible, but tough to do. Why? Because they had 31 points through 25 games. They're going to win the division, or they're going to get home ice in the playoffs. Vancouver is playing way over their heads. But I think Strat had to give Vancouver a good advantage to see if they could get them into the finals. Not sure if this season's been redone. They're 9-2-1 at home, Edmonton is, but they are not a good road team. 5-6-2. And in the division, they're only 4-4-1. But they've lost to Vancouver twice. They've lost to Calgary once. Then they've lost to Los Angeles once, and they've beaten Winnipeg. They still have a lot of games against Winnipeg, Los Angeles, and Calgary. And, of course, remember, Vancouver was a team that went to the final, but Edmonton won that division by 30 points. They also have a loss in Hartford. Hartford's just pathetic. And they've only outscored their opponents by 5 goals. They have a good power play percentage, as you can see, 24%. But they're not good defensively. Now, why is this team underperforming? Well, there's particularly one reason, and it's Gretzky himself. What, you say? But I take a look at this, and he's got 20 goals and 22 assists and 42 points. How can Wayne Gretzky be hurting the Edmonton Oilers? Let's take a look at that top line right there. Wayne Gretzky can't win a face-off to save his life because he takes them on penalty kills, power plays, and of course is on the first line. He's taken nearly half the face-offs on the team, right? Through 25 games, there's been 599 face-offs, and he's taken 270. And you know what? His face-off rating of 0 is going to kill him because he's only won 42% of his face-offs. So 58% of the time, he's lost the puck off the get-go. And that, my friends, is fatal. If you don't have the puck, you do not score, period. Now, skating, which is shorthanded, of course, has 4 shorthanded goals. He's very good at that. Penetration? 53% is not terrible. Intimidation, he really can't do that anyway, and so he's not there to play defense, although I believe he's a 2. But he takes away the puck a good chunk of the time, and Edmonton's good at that. But when you don't win face-offs, in fact, who's the best? None of them are really good. Hagman is at 51%. Laurie Boschman's at 43%. And Tom Rolston, the 4th line, and Gary Younger. Gary Younger is actually the best. So, of course, if you know how Strat works, you get rated from 0 to 3 on a face-off. And if you're on the power play, you get an additional 3 to regardless of what your rating is. On the road, that's a killer. And Edmonton, as you saw, is not a good road team. And so why is Gretzky not doing well? I would think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the computer pairs him with Lumley and Dave Hunter, who are not scoring machines. Curry, by the way, is on the 3rd line. But on the other hand, he's got Messier and Anderson, who should be just fine, thank you very much. Combination of that, his low shooting percentage, and his face-off winning percentage, which is terrible, really, really hurts Gretzky's chances of making it. Now, is this a bungled replay for Edmonton? I've played every card of every Edmonton game. I'm doing all of Edmonton's games and all the Islanders games. No, I wouldn't. I think that, although I really don't think he's going to get to 112 points, I do think he still has a decent shot at 150 and 160. They have a lot of home games left. I'll show you that in a sec. They've played 12 of their 40 home games. They've played 13 away games and 12 home games. So they have 28 home games left. And you would figure that 9-2-1 is a pretty good pace for them. They really do well in the second period, and their goalkeeping is not all that great. But you figure they will play better away. They play Vancouver 6 more times, and they should start to score on Vancouver at some point. They play Calgary 6 more times. They play Winnipeg 7 more times, and they play the Kings 6 more times. So there's a lot of divisional hockey left, despite the fact they're 4-4-1. The Norris division isn't very good, and you can see they are pounding them. They have not lost a game against a Norris division team. They have 1 more against Chicago, 2 more against St. Louis, 2 more against Toronto, and 2 more against Minnesota, and 2 more against Detroit. So they've got some easy feasting to do against the Norse. We won't go into what they have against everybody else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They have played Colorado 3 times. Okay. I'm trying to think of who they've not played yet. They've not played Montreal. They've not played Philadelphia. They have not played Washington. So there's 9 games against tougher teams. They've not played Buffalo. I think that's it. That's 20. So they still have a ton of more games to play. But going back to Gretzky, I knew it would be hard the second I took a look at this card for him to get 92 goals. Although on a rebound chance, his chances are better than 50-50 about getting on a goalie rating or getting a goal, especially on that 5, he was going to score rather easily. But his shooting percentage is off, and that should come up as time goes by. Because his defense is only average, he's not going to take away the puck enough to create outside shots to try to penetrate. And that inside column to me is rather weak. I'd have liked to have seen maybe that straight goal chance on a 4 and maybe a goalie rating on a 5, because once you get into a 4 and a 5, you increase it from a 1 in 18 chance to a 2 in an 18 chance. I'm not sure if this season's ever been redone. And the key for Gretzky is if he's going to get to that 200-point plateau, he's got to get those goals. I'm just not sure that Lumley and the others are going to score enough to make it worthwhile. Now, the computer wants him to play the 4th line center. I think that's too much ice time, and we don't really have a record of how much ice time he logged in that season. The team has 4 centers. I want to make sure that everyone gets time. And because Gretzky is on is the top power play and penalty kill line, despite the fact he's only a 2 defense, he gets enough shifts. He would be better if he was paired with Messier and Anderson, but one of the things that makes the Oilers so dangerous is that they can score on 2 lines. Gretzky, of course, has 92 goals on the first line, and Anderson and Messier's 88 on the second line. And so I would not call this a failure. But on the other hand, I don't think Gretzky has a chance to make the 200 points. He would be really, really hard-pressed. As I said, he is, after 25 games, 1 full point off the pace. So if this was you, knowing at this point that he's not going to make it, and you played every game, how would you consider that? Would you consider it a failure, a success, intrigued, upset? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear about it. If you're watching this before New Year's, we're going to do a thank you stream for New Year's, or thank you videos for New Year's. And our Twitch streaming begins in earnest New Year's Eve afternoon. We'll do some football and baseball for you next week. Until then, I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching. Hope your holiday season's going well, and we'll talk to you the next time.